Hey Thrivers, you're listening to Season 2, Episode 5. As you know, Christine and I are both expecting, and today we are talking all things pregnancy and body image. We will be sharing about how we've been feeling this pregnancy, for me being my third, and Christine, it's her second, and we'll be discussing some of the biggest differences between how we're feeling this time around as compared to when we were expecting our first babies. Whether you're an expecting mama or a grandma, or you're not a mom yet at all, we hope you'll join us for some laughs as we talk weight gain, not being able to touch our toes anymore, and all the wonderful joys of motherhood. Hashtag the things we do for our kids. So without further ado, grab a glass of wine for us and stay tuned for all the hormones and the tears as we break down life during pregnancy.
Welcome to The Thrive, a podcast for working moms. This is for all the women and moms listening. If you work from home, in an office, run your own business, or are the CEO of your family, this podcast is for you. Because at the end of the day, all moms are working moms. Rachel and Christine invite you to celebrate the victories, get advice, listen to their mom fails, and to know you aren't alone, to thrive in your everyday life.
Today's episode is sponsored by Lancaster Placenta Company. Lancaster Placenta Co. is the leading placenta encapsulation service in central Pennsylvania, offering the largest variety of placenta-based remedies and methods of preparation for their clients. The company was founded with the intention to meet the need for a more personalized experience for clients, and owner and doula Callie Landis offers comfort and guidance in each mother's postpartum journey. So why would you consider placenta encapsulation? Well, after giving birth, many new mothers experience blood loss, fatigue, and a drop in their high pregnancy hormones, all of which are thought of as key factors in the development of the baby blues or postpartum depression. Science shows that your placenta is full of nutrients and hormones that aid in postpartum wellness by replenishing your system with natural iron and protein and slowly reintroducing essential hormones back into your system. Lancaster Placenta Co. offers placenta pills, smoothies, balms, teas, and more to help you feel your best after your baby is born. And let me tell you, I cannot wait to give it a try. I suffered from the baby blues with my firstborn, and I have heard nothing but good things about placenta encapsulation. So I am planning to use Callie's services for my baby boy due in April. I will be sure to keep you posted through my postpartum journey, so stay tuned. And for more information or to contact Callie today, visit lancasterplacentaco.com. Simply mention this episode for a special promotion. Welcome back, Thrivers. This is Rachel.
And Christine.
We are so excited to be sharing everything pregnancy this week.
This is the episode.
We are just talking about pregnancy and all of the changes and how that affects body image, how that affects our sex lives,
Everything.
how it affects everything.
Oh, that was not on my note sheet.
It's in my note sheet.
Not on my note sheet.
It affects all aspects of life.
It does. So,
and yeah, you've tuned in for a good one.
How's it going so far?
Well, I am 24 weeks.
Okay.
We found out that we are having a boy.
Yay!
And yeah, I'm really excited.
That's so cool.
It's been nice to know, like, I was just anxious to see, like, girl, boy, like, do I just need to buy, like, a whole bunch of more matching stuff?
Yeah.
Or now I'm like, cool, I get to start over, but I'm a little overwhelmed because I've never had a boy.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah. I think it's going, so.
Yeah. Like, any opportunity, maybe do a little more shopping.
Yeah.
Buy some cute new clothes.
For real. And I feel like I am sort of developing, like, a boy style. I don't know. It's just different, but it's all like a good different. And I think the girls need a boy.
Yeah.
To like mellow them out a little bit.
For sure. I could definitely see that.
Yeah. What about you?
22 weeks. And we're having a girl.
Yay!
It's a lot of pink.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm so excited that you're having a girl.
That's what everyone tells me that has two girls. So I'll take their word for it.
Yes.
Because I had an older brother. Robert has a sister he grew up with, two sisters.
Okay.
So I feel like the mix is what we both knew. So I'm like, wow, two girls. Okay. Like what?
Well, you could have another one then to get the...
Rachel, that's what people say. Oh my goodness. Like how come that is the automatic response? If we had another baby, a third, it would be because I wanted three girls. Like I just wouldn't have to have my mind around that because that happens. Like there's that couple at our church with 6 or 7 boys?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I kind of wanted a girl because I'm used to girl stuff. And see,
Yeah.
I didn't have a brother. I grew up in a family of all girls. So I was actually like, oh my gosh, like I'm not going to get my hopes up for a boy because it's probably another girl. And that made me really excited.
Yeah.
And I actually got a little bit like, I shouldn't say hurt my feelings. People don't mean anything by it. But I feel like a lot of people, when we said we were expecting, automatically made the comment like, oh, you're trying for a boy. Mm-hmm. And I would be like, no, like, I would like another girl, actually. Like, I feel like some people just assume that you want one or the other. And, like,
the whole dynamic of that kind of conversation is so interesting with people's opinions about it, their feelings about sharing their opinions, and just the expectations. And I feel like at this point in my life, I've been so privileged to know women with all different stories, all different experiences with children and wanting children, having babies, and you just hear all their stories and learn that the conversation should be a little bit different than it is often. I don't know. I'll just leave it at that, where people just say what they want and you just...
I feel like you just have to take everything with a grain of salt.
Stay in your lane. Yeah. Everyone stay in your lane.
And do what's right for you and your family. And honestly, like my husband was so excited about a boy.
Yeah.
But like, I guess my point was like, I'd be happy either way. And there were some people that I felt like, oh, like a third girl. And I was like, why do you say it like it's a bad thing? I was the third girl.
Like, I am that.
That was me. And I don't want to think my parents like didn't want me as much.
No. And it's, you have babies because you want a baby. Yeah. Because you want to have a big family. And it's just more to love regardless. So,
yes. And you know what? Back in the day, they didn't have... Like, they didn't find out the gender.
Back in the day.
So, I know.
In the 80s.
Does that make me old? I said it back in the day about myself. Like, when I was born.
Oh, I was like, when? With Reagan? Yeah, I know. It's so different now.
It is. Like, just from, like, our parents to our generation. Like, I've already had, like, numerous ultrasounds just because they, you know, just want to double check things. Like, at the beginning, at least... Did they do one at the beginning for you to kind of like date everything and make sure that you were on track with your due date and like that everything was normal?
I knew exactly when my due date would be. We've got our dates down. Okay. But we've had 2 ultrasounds. So initially I don't even know how soon that was. 7 weeks or
it's pretty early.
I mean, it looked like a baby by then, and then this most recent one at 20 weeks.
Yeah, I just think it's so neat. Like my mom didn't have any of that, so actually with my second pregnancy, I think there was an appointment that Kyle just like couldn't make it to or something. I think they had actually scheduled. Like, I just feel like I've had all these ultrasounds because with both of my girls, like the 20-week one where they try to get all the measurements to make sure that the baby is growing okay. And like, if you've never had an ultrasound, like if you are a new mom, so like when they do this, like midway ultrasound around the 20-week mark, that's typically when you'll find out your gender. But when I say they take measurements to make sure the baby's growing all right, like they don't just measure like from head to toe. Like they literally measure their skull, like this way, that way. They take a cross section of like their spine. Like I am always amazed at how the ultrasound people like know what they're looking at.
Oh, I told my girl that. Like she was even, this is the chamber of their heart or baby's kidney. And I'm like, okay, that all just looks like a staticky black and white television to me.
Exactly.
I mean,
but they know it all.
They would scan over her face and I'm like, oh, baby, there we are. But then I'd lose her.
Yeah.
Like, where's the baby?
And there was sometimes where like I thought I was looking at one thing and they're like, oh no, that's your ovary. I was like, what? I didn't know that. And so, but they measure it all. Like they measure like the ventricles and the arteries like in the heart to make sure the heart is pumping okay. And they measure like the bones in the arms and the legs because I guess if your baby has a big head and they have little arms, they could have dwarfism or something. They just check for all of that stuff. So yes, new mom, not a mom yet. You'll just enjoy it, but be prepared. It's a long appointment.
But you know how the ultrasound tech can't really give you feedback about it because they're not supposed to. And I feel like our ultrasound tech this most recent time was more verbal about what she was seeing. Like, oh, this looks good. And it surprised me because I feel like with Nora, they didn't share all of those comments, which everything was normal.
Yeah.
And then we met with the doctor after, and she went over all the things they saw, and she said everything was good, but I have these things called placenta lakes, which is like, it's really nothing other than your baby could have a lower birth weight. And I said, well, my daughter was 8'5", so that would be okay. And I Googled it when I got home, and it was a picture of a placenta, and it just had these like little dark spots, and actually said the only implication would be a smaller birth weight, because I guess it's not like fully grown to the placenta. I don't know. I should ask Callie from, from the placenta company.
Oh, that's so interesting though. But I feel like even with each pregnancy, like I didn't even know what that was, what you just mentioned, because I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
And so with each pregnancy, like if there's something a little different, like you will learn things as you go. Even this time being my third time, like, well, now I'm learning all about boy stuff.
Right.
But just little things like that maybe you have during one pregnancy you didn't have during another. Another thing that they test for, like, within a few weeks before your due date is like the group B strep. And that's just a bacteria that you might be positive for, you might not be positive for. And
I had it.
I didn't have it the first time, and then I had it the second time. So yeah, like first time I didn't really even know anything about it. And then the second time I'm like, oh, I'm an expert now.
Well, and like, I mean, everyone says every pregnancy is different, but down to like nitty gritty things like that you wouldn't even think of. So what do you feel like is one of the biggest changes that you're experiencing as your third pregnancy that was different from either one of your girls?
Yeah, that's a great question. I honestly feel like one of the biggest differences this time, and my husband swears, like, Kyle thinks he knew it was a boy all along. Like, he's convinced.
People always say that. I'm like, no, you just have strong feelings one way or the other. Like,
yeah. Well, I've been craving a lot different things than I did the first two times. So I literally like overheard him talking to somebody in our family, and he was like, oh yeah, like we've been craving different stuff. I mean, she's been having like different cravings this time.
He said we?
Yes. I was like, what are you even talking about? I love that he like takes it on like he knew, and like from the get-go, like it was different. And I'm like, first of all, you're not the pregnant one.
He's like, and we're experiencing a little bit, swollen feet, and we are a little more tired.
Oh my gosh, like I almost died. It was really funny. But yeah, I have been craving saltier, savory things versus the first and second time, all sweet stuff.
Which that is part of why I thought we were having a boy, because I just can't get enough of like a salty pretzel or chips or something, which it's like, why? You can't always go by like, this is what I feel, because...
Yeah. Well, that's why I was just like, you know what? Nope, it's going to be another girl.
Gosh, Kyle knew.
Because I thought that was like an old wives' tale. But yes, my husband knew. He says he knew.
That's so cute. I love it. We're really craving sweets. Or
we're just extra tired this time. True life, I am more tired this time. Oh. What about you?
I actually don't think I'm more tired. Maybe because I can't just come home and take a nap. And... like with Nora, when I was pregnant with her, my first, I could come home and lay on the couch and do nothing and just check out and fall asleep. Now, there's this toddler that needs me, and I still feel like I can give her attention. I definitely feel already at 22 weeks like sitting down isn't as comfortable on the floor, or that like maybe I can't play with her as much as I had. And she's just starting to get into that phase where she is really active and wants to run and play. And that's kind of hard for me, that I feel like I can't give her like my full self because I'm a little bit more tired. Or on the weekends, it's hard because my husband, he works retail, so he works most weekends. So on my days off, I have Nora still, like, the whole day. Yeah. He's off during the week, and Nora goes to daycare. So that's hard. And actually, I will tell him how like, oh, Nora had some quiet time in the morning. And he was like, why do you keep putting her down for a nap? And I'm like, well, when you're home with her all day, you might put her down for some quiet time. And just this evening, he was home. He had off today, so he was home. And when we got home, she's like running all around. And he looked at me and laughed. And he was like, oh, I get it. I see why you would put her down for quiet time. I'm like, yep, need a little bit of a break. So
all moms need quiet time.
Absolutely. That's a little bit different. And, but thankfully I don't feel too guilty about it. I know that there is a world of guilt that comes with mom life.
Yeah.
But in this particular area, I just know that I need to take care of myself and rest. And if that means letting her just kind of run all over me and maybe I'm not as active, that's okay. Because I need to do what I need to do to take care of myself after working a full day.
That's so true. I feel like the last time when I was pregnant, Reagan was, let's see, our girls are only like 17 months apart. Mm-hmm. So throughout my pregnancy, she was still young, a little younger than Nora, right?
But she was walking.
How far apart will yours be?
22 months.
Okay, so similar stages, but Reagan was very, very active from the get-go. She just was like an early walker. So I do remember like that busyness, but she has always been like and still now, even as like a 3 going on 4-year-old, she is our best napper. Like she will take a good nap in the afternoons. I mean, minus today.
I know, I was like, what happened today?
Minus today. She is typically our great napper. So I do remember when I was pregnant with our second, she would take like a great like 2-3 hour nap in the afternoon. And I didn't really have any childcare help at the time. Like I was only working from home. So I had to use my afternoon time to do work, but I also could get ahead on some things. And sometimes Kyle would call me and he'd be like, were you sleeping? I'm like, yeah, I was sleeping again. So I do remember having afternoons where I could just nap. And I also was doing more work for my business in the evenings. And that's one of the things that I've really tried not to do just over the past year or so. Like that was a big goal of mine. And with my business coach, we really talked about like setting up a schedule where, you know, I am not spending all my evenings on my laptop because it became an issue with my husband. Like he was like, I want your time because you are tired. You deal with the girls all day long. Like, you know, he doesn't stay up late. So he's like, you know, when I have some of your time in the evening, like I want it to just be like for you and I and not for you to be working. So because of that big shift, I haven't been napping much this time because when like on the days that I don't have childcare, I still do try to get some work done at home. And then on the days that I'm working, obviously I'm working. But the nice thing is, I'd say probably the biggest difference is I've been going to bed a lot earlier. And my husband, I think he actually likes that. Like, I think Kyle's happy that like it's 9 o'clock and he's like, I'm going to go lay down. And I'm like, oh, me too.
You're such a night owl too. So I'm sure that's quite a shift, but it's good you're listening to what you need. Like your body needs to get
that's
rest. Been
probably the biggest change, like just in life. Like I have always been a night owl, and this time around I'm like, nope, 8:45. If I'm not in my comfy clothes, something's wrong.
Oh, I'm right there with you. How do you feel like your girls are adjusting to all of this?
I feel like they, at this point, like, I mean,
like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they know, but they don't really care yet. I think it'll be a big adjustment in a few weeks. They're getting bunk beds. We have a 3-bedroom house. So, yeah, the baby room, well, right now they each have their own room, but Rowan's room is more of like the nursery, and that's where the baby will go. So she will be moving on up to Reagan's room.
Do they know this yet?
They do know. I think Reagan understands more. Rowan just doesn't. She just doesn't care as much.
Reagan's old enough to understand.
Yeah, Reagan gets it. And so I'm anxious to see how that is. I think that'll be a big adjustment. And if they can adjust well to that, then I think once the baby comes, it won't be as big of a deal.
And that's smart you're doing it now. Give yourself that time to transition and get ready for it.
Yeah. Oh, because they got to learn to take naps together. Like, I've actually considered, like,
oh my,
are we going to have them nap in their beds? Am I going to, like, put one down and then, like, take the other one back? Because I think that's going to be the biggest thing.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. If they're not ready to take naps, like, and they just talk the whole time, or, like, I don't know. I might have to, like, keep the crib mattress in Rowan's room, even after it's, like, a nursery. Like, the baby won't be in there right away.
Right. Yeah.
So I might have to like still have her nap there, so they're separate at nap time.
Throw this out to our thrivers, because I would be curious to know what other moms have done. You're not the first one to put 2 toddlers together and need them to take naps.
Yeah, definitely. I'll probably do an IG live or something about this, because I would definitely need advice.
I want to know.
Yeah. So how about you? Any other big like home changes, emotional changes? Because you're in a new house this time around.
It feels good. We definitely have more space this time, so that's wonderful. And I actually feel like my emotions are a little bit more in check. I don't feel as up and down as I did last time. And I don't know if that was because it's just a different pregnancy or because last time was my first and I didn't know what I was doing. And we got pregnant soon after we got married, which you can relate to.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, newly married couple figuring out how to live together, and then, oh yeah, you're pregnant. So that was really hard. And so I feel this time much different in that maybe because I don't have time to like stop and think about the things I did with Nora, but I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful.
How are you feeling just about having a second one? Like, have you had any of those thoughts like, how will I love another one this much? Like,
no, I just wondered
those weird feelings.
How am I going to pay for 2 weddings? So really no, honestly, it was like, how am I going to pay for 2 weddings? What's going to happen if they both break up with their boyfriend in the same week?
Oh no.
And like teenagers driving. I'll love this baby shirt. We'll be great. Like I hear it all the time that moms love their second, third, fourth babies. So no, that I have not worried about, but it's all like the future stuff. But I think my mom was the one who said when people asked her those kind of questions, my mom was like, well, I'm not giving birth to a 15-year-old. I'm giving birth to a newborn, and the baby will grow and I will grow along with them. So I will remind myself that by the time they get to the age of having a boyfriend that might break up with them, we will have grown together and I will know how to help them.
Oh my gosh. I told Reagan the other day that she's not allowed to get married till she's 35, and she seemed totally cool with it.
Perfect. Get that on camera. Have her sign it.
She also told me when I asked her how old I was the other day that I'm 10. So maybe she doesn't quite understand.
So that's who you need to talk to after these other people make comments about pregnancy and pregnant women. Just look to your 3-year-old and be like, Reagan, what do you think of mommy?
Oh,
you're a pretty 10-year-old.
Well, that is the great thing about little girls. Like, she always tells me that I look beautiful. And she's very, very sweet when she wants to be.
When she wants to be.
And when she doesn't want to be, she knows how to push all my buttons. But we will chat more about that in a few minutes. Let's take a quick break. So earlier we mentioned this episode is sponsored by Lancaster Placenta Co. And Christine and I both plan to try placenta encapsulation this spring when we have our babies. Why are we so excited about it? Well, I, for one, dealt with postpartum depression after my first child was born, and I just remember feeling extreme ups and downs when it came to my emotions. I've learned that a big reason for this is because of the changes in your hormones, and science shows that placenta is full of nutrients and hormones that aid in postpartum wellness. By replenishing your system with natural iron and protein and slowly reintroducing essential hormones back into your system, mothers who take placenta capsules can avoid the ups and downs associated with hormone changes. And with benefits like that, I can't wait to give it a try. If you're an expecting mama and you'd like to learn more about the services Lancaster Placenta Co. has to offer, simply visit lancasterplacentaco.com. Okay, guys, we are diving into all things pregnancy today. And one of the things we want to talk about is the obvious, the weight gain, how it affects how you feel about yourself, how it affects different parts of your life and, relationships. And I just feel like each time for me, it's been a little different, each pregnancy that I've had. But whether you've had kids or not, I feel like there are some things that you just can't prepare for.
Absolutely. And that's a good point. Whether you've had kids or not, like we've all experienced changes in our bodies, whether it be because of pregnancy or hormones or life situations that affect you. Like, it's tough.
There are some things that like I'm dealing with this time that I didn't deal with the first 2 times. So yeah, you just have to keep in mind like every single thing is different. Like every pregnancy is different. And there are a lot of old wives' tales out there that some might be more true than others. Yeah. But, people will tell you like, oh, if you feel this way or you're craving that, it's a boy, it's a girl. No. And you just have to do what works for you and, buy into what you want to buy into and don't buy into any of that garbage.
Yes. There's a lot of stories out there.
Yes.
So how do you feel like you're dealing with the weight gain? Because it comes. And
That's a good
come.
question.
How are you doing?
Definitely comes. I feel like for me, this time around, I have only gained about like 10 or 11 pounds so far.
Good.
But I started like way heavier than I did my first time being pregnant and my second time being pregnant because I never really lost all the weight. So I do have a tough time when I step onto the scale and I'm like, wow, I never thought I'd see that number. But I keep telling myself, like, it's a baby. Like, at the end of the day, like, I can lose weight. Like, and I need to. And I'm just trying not to, like, let it consume me right now.
Yeah.
I've also tried to do a good job with, like, shopping for clothes to wear that make me feel good. I'm actually just wearing, like, a size of yoga pants right now that are, like, a size bigger. They're not actually maternity because they were like high-waisted anyway, so they feel pretty comfy. But I feel like you just have to wear what makes you feel good, do what makes you feel good, and yeah, if your doctor tells you to like watch your weight because you're gaining too much, like take that with a grain of salt and, you know, adhere their advice, but also, you know, don't kill yourself. Like some people gain more weight during pregnancy than others. And I don't know if that's like a hereditary thing. I'm not a doctor. But I do think it's probably, like, I don't know, some people just seem to carry a little bit differently than others.
Yeah, I feel like my doctor probably should have told me I was gaining too much weight. It's like, they did not tell me that. Yes, I love your advice, Rachel, about finding clothes that make you feel good. I feel like one of my mantras in pregnancy is to pay attention to the things I should be paying attention to and don't pay attention to the other things, which is really difficult.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, what feels good, like focus on how an outfit feels. Focus on what clothes are comfortable, not what size it is or what size you were or want it to be. Focus on what's important and what you can control.
Yeah.
And that is the clothes you choose. That's so key. I feel this pregnancy, actually, I am doing a lot better at not gaining so much weight. With Nora, I don't know what happened. I told the doctor I went off the rails, and she was like, what do you mean by that? I was like, oh, it was just a lot of weight. And sometimes I actually do feel embarrassed that I gained so much weight with her. Like, it makes me sad sometimes. I feel disappointed sometimes. That's just the truth of the matter. But like you're saying, I have to focus on I can lose weight, and that is an attainable goal. People do it. So not focusing on that when I can't do anything about it. And it's hard. Another thing I found that I need to do is surround myself with people who I know will affirm me and speak truth into me the way I need it to be. And not just have people like my friends lie to me, you know. But when you're in this situation, like you need people to tell you it's okay, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like it will get better, or you can lose weight and you look beautiful now. And sometimes that's your girlfriends and not just your husbands, because they will tell you that you look great all the time.
Yes. I do feel like you look really good, though. I didn't know you really before Nora.
Oh, yeah. Those pictures are like a whole different person. Even my mom said that over break. I agree with her. We looked at pictures like right when I got married, and she was like, wow, Christine. I was like, yeah, that's a different person, but
I feel like since becoming pregnant this time, though, like you haven't put on much.
No,
like I feel like you're doing really good.
Thanks. I asked the doctor actually to tell me how much weight I've gained, not how much I weighed, because I know how much I weigh. I can weigh myself here, but I wanted to know for their records what the weight gain was. Okay. And it was what I thought it was, and I felt okay with that. So I'm like, I'm going to focus on that number and not my actual weight, because that will make me sad. But if I focus on the amount that it's been, I'll feel better about myself.
Well, good for you.
Paying attention to the things that I should be paying attention to.
But honestly, like to be honest and just to be real with you guys, when we talk about weight gain, like I probably gained about 30 pounds with my first one. And then I do remember like having the baby and stepping on the scale, and I was like 2 days later, I was like, Kyle, I lost 17 pounds. Like I felt amazing. Feeling. But then through breastfeeding, people were like, oh, the rest of the weight, like those 10, 15 pounds, it'll fall right off. And I pretty much just gained back the baby weight. I'm pretty sure that I just stayed about 30 pounds heavier.
Because they say you'll be so hungry, and then you think, oh, I can eat.
Yeah, and then I did about the same thing again with my second one. So maybe I didn't gain a ton of weight each time, But like when you gain 30 or 40 pounds and then you don't lose it and then you add more on top, like it adds up.
Yeah.
And I have girlfriends too that have gained like they have been honest with me and been like, Rachel, I gained 80 pounds and I lost 40, but I'm having a struggle to get rid of the rest of the weight. So like, I mean, I feel like we can say a lot, we can say a little, but like if you guys want numbers, like do not feel guilty. If you gain, what do they say to gain? 25 to 30 pounds.
Yeah, I looked it up the other day. I should not have looked it up.
But like there are many, many women and healthy women that I know that have gained 40 or 50 pounds or more and been totally fine. And if that's you, you're not alone. You will be able to lose the weight, but it does take work. And that's one of the things that like I keep telling myself, like, you know, the weight obviously didn't just fall off for me during breastfeeding. Like some people say that like, oh yeah, like it burns calories just feeding your baby. But like, no, it made me hungrier and thirstier. And so I feel like they also had made a comment like, oh yeah, if you're breastfeeding, you can have like a few hundred calories more or something. So then in my head,
That's just like a few handful of pretzels. I'm like, I would like another cheeseburger.
Yes, like I would have like another meal more. And so maybe don't do that. But if you do, it's okay. I'm just coming to terms though with the fact that like, all right, like I don't know if this is third and final. It probably is. But we said that last time and it wasn't. So I'm just making it a goal this time to be better about the weight gain afterwards, because I feel like for me the issue is that it's kind of stacked on.
Right. That's hard, especially if you think like maybe I will, at least for me, maybe I will have another baby. That's what I thought with Nora.
Yeah.
So I don't think I tried really hard to lose the weight.
Yeah.
And a thought I had about, you had mentioned like people, it's all different numbers. Like some people have gained 20 pounds or some people gain 50 pounds. And I feel like comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes.
So there are people who maybe only gained 15, 20 pounds, but for them it feels like so much more. And then I could look at them and say, oh, that's only 20 pounds. Like they're just no comparisons, because it's so different. You can't compare that. And everybody's story is their story and needs to, I don't know, like get the respect it deserves. So like if you're feeling however you're feeling, like it's okay.
It's okay to feel like that.
It is okay,
like
regardless of what your number is. But we're just here to say, like Rachel mentioned, you're not alone, and we're all working on this together.
Yeah.
It's
and another thing I wanted to put out there, I actually just talked about this in our IG Live because this is a new thing for me, and I'm feeling a little self-conscious about it. Really self-conscious. Actually, I'm glad it's wintertime, because if it was summer, I wouldn't want to wear shorts or a bathing suit. I have not had this issue with my first two. I think with my second one, I had a spider vein develop. But this pregnancy, I am having varicose veins.
Rachel.
If you don't know what those are, you youngins who might not have them or know about them,
oh my.
Just Google it.
You sound just like your mother.
Oh my goodness. Mine are not the end of the world. There are some women, and especially as you age, they can get worse. So there are some people that have them really bad, but I have had them starting. Mine are not painful, but it's a hereditary thing. Mm-hmm. So, my older sister, who has a significant, she has some significant ones, on both of her legs, she has expressed, that they are painful. And I think for her, she's they get way better after you have your baby, but they don't just disappear. And she said, every month, around that time of the month, they just throb. She's like, I'll have to take Tylenol because I have cramps, but also my legs hurt now. The things we do for these babies.
Seriously, we deserve a really big push present.
Right? I told Kyle, I never really got a push present. And so I was like, you kind of owe me 3.
You do. Or a really big one.
Yeah.
A trip to Mexico, a new car. But anyway, I'm sorry you're dealing with that. That sounds tough. I hope that they continue to not be painful and just
they don't look nice, but I can't complain. It's not they're hurting me. But yeah, for somebody that I played volleyball my whole life, so I used to run around in my little tight spandex, and I always loved I liked my legs. And Rachel, now I'm what is wrong with me?
If that means that you put on your spandex, You do you.
Oh, stop.
Okay?
I would never. I don't think I could fit into them now. They'd be like underwear.
If it is warm enough to be wearing shorts, that means you're really close to having your baby.
That's true.
So 1, that's amazing. And 2, whatever. Like, just wear what's comfortable.
That is true. That is true. But the doctor would probably tell me to wear like compression socks or something.
All the way up your legs?
I don't know. You can get like support hose that come up the whole way.
Oh, no thanks.
My mom told me to get them, and I was like, Mom, I'll stick to like yoga pants or something. Like, they give me enough support.
Wrap like an ace bandage around myself.
Oh
I don't know
my
if I want to
gosh.
try to pull up compression shorts.
No. But hey, if the doctor tells you to do it and you really need them, like my sister had to wear something towards the end of hers because she had like, I mean, we're getting into the TMI today. She had them like in the upper part of her legs, like towards her groin area.
Oh, my friend had them right up in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor said something about like, what was the word? I don't remember. It wasn't hemorrhaging, but it was like, like there could be issues if you were pushing a baby out. And
Yes, that's what my friend said.
yeah. So I can be very thankful that I don't have that issue.
Talk about all the things you learn from every new pregnant person you speak with.
Yes.
Like, I never would think that.
And I mean, I'm complaining about veins, but like there's people that are sick throughout their pregnancy, like to the point they have to be hospitalized. So like, thank the Lord, I haven't dealt with that.
Like Amy Schumer, is that her name? The comedian?
Yes. I think she has.
She is having a time of it.
And isn't like the princess, Kate Middleton, didn't she have like...
She not feeling well?
I don't think she's pregnant. But like when she was, didn't she have like the severe like morning sickness thing?
Meghan Markle.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
but then
Meghan.
Princess Kate comes out after having her baby and looks like
The Glam Squad.
Glam Squad.
An hour later, like
Man.
high heels. Here's the baby.
Really, that's the service that we should have as postpartum, like a postpartum service, is to come like do my hair, do my makeup, and I will leave the hospital
I saw
feeling like royalty.
So 3 Strands, the owner, Marianne, was on our podcast a handful of episodes ago. And I just saw on social media that they are offering postpartum like services.
Oh, I know.
And we should probably tell them that this is one of the ones they should add. Glam
They were having
Squad.
like a free service, and I was like, "Oh, sign me up for that," because I could use all the help I could get. But
that might be where I saw it. I think you tagged me.
I tagged you. But I think a Glam Squad is a very reasonable request as part of postpartum services. So we will look into that. Because
we will let you know.
We could use all the help we could get. Feeling beautiful, feeling our best selves.
Someone to like shave the bottom of my legs where I can't reach.
Oh man, that's what Caitlin said. Teen Mom is saying. Look at this reality tie-ins. Because she's pregnant now, and she was saying she wanted her husband.
Wait, she's pregnant again?
Yes,
Caitlin
and Tyler. Well, like her 3rd pregnancy. Yeah, it's a girl.
Who's Tyler?
Her husband. Are we not thinking of the same person?
No.
All right, we will look this up.
I'm thinking about
later.
Caitlin, the one that has like 3 kids and 3 baby
not
daddies.
her. Caitlin. This is like the OG.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
she's pregnant again. Yeah.
And okay.
We can all use a little help sometimes.
Got to get my teen moms correct.
So, pregnancy, whirlwind, how is your time with you and your husband?
I was just looking at our list and I was like, sex, in parentheses, or lack of, during pregnancy.
But here's the thing, too, without getting into too much. Obviously, we know pregnancy changes almost everything about what's going on in your life. And it is, I mean, your time with your spouse, your intimacy, the time you spend together is still really important. So although it might change, how do you feel like you and Kyle are doing at creating that time and space for each other?
That's a good question. Well, first of all, I feel like some people talk about like how horny they get during pregnancy, and they're just like, oh my gosh, I just wanted it all the time. Mm-mm. And that has never been me. So, on the flip side, also being in that same boat as you were, like the first time around, being pregnant, like just after getting married, I think it was really tough for my husband to understand that, like, I love you, I want to be close with you, but I just want you to cuddle me and give me a back rub with like no expectations. Like, don't even go down there. Like, sometimes I just want a back rub. And I think that with each pregnancy, he's just gotten more understanding and like
It's a change for both of you. Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean that for 9 months I'm just like, don't touch me. But it does mean that like, I feel like you just need to accept that like, it's probably harder for you than for your husband. Do not feel judged by your husband or your partner. Like, they will love you no matter how you look and how you're feeling. But maybe just be upfront with them. Like, you know, it's hard for me to accept how I look right now or how I feel. And it's hard for me to be in that mood because I'm not feeling, maybe it's not confident or it's just not comfortable, whatever it is. Like, I've just had to accept that, like, I need to get over the, like, thinking he's not attracted to me. Like, he clearly does not have a problem with me, but sometimes I just need him to understand, like, I'm not in the mood today.
I think both of us have been really lucky to be experiencing really supportive partners.
Yeah.
And it's not just with things related to intimacy, but it's even just what we're up for as far as taking care of the home or our families or coming home and not maybe having the energy to sit and have a long conversation about our day and just being tired, because it does feel different. And so I know your husband, my husband are both really supportive, but even just being able to express your needs and your concerns with the people around you, whether that be parents or friends or your immediate family, just letting them know what you need, because ultimately they want to support you too. So that's really important to be able to share your thoughts with them.
Yeah, I think that's such a good way of putting it. And I actually had on my list here just like during pregnancy goals, and one of them was adjusting expectations. And I feel like you just really spoke to that. Like, you just have to accept that, like, you know, you might not be able to do all that you could do when you weren't pregnant. You might be more tired. You might not feel like having sex. You might not be up for going out with friends because you just need a night in because you're achy or you're not feeling great or whatever. And you can't hold yourself, you can't compare.
Right. And it's not even sometimes a night in. It may be for months at a time where you just don't feel the way you felt before. But that's again where I feel like it's so key to surround yourselves with that good support system that can tell you it's okay to be doing just exactly what you are. And especially for working moms who are trying to divide their time at home between a career and their kids, or leaving the house and working in an office all day and then coming home, you probably won't feel the way you used to every evening, and that's okay too. I had mentioned earlier just that mom guilt, and it starts from pregnancy. Like, when you feel guilty that you just don't feel the way you used to. And I know for me with my first child, that messed with my head, because I felt like there was something wrong with me because I didn't feel as peppy or as, you know, go with the flow as I
feel like you're always so peppy though. I love that about you.
Yeah. Well, I definitely feels better with that this time around. But anyway, just not having that guilt, not carrying that. And again, like, focusing on the things that you can control and that are important. And if that means a rest, if that means a movie night, a movie day, it's okay.
And I also feel like, just on that note, before we wrap up, you know, if you are somebody that's like, yeah, I'm not feeling myself, and if it does go on for a period of time, don't be afraid to talk to somebody about it, because my first time after I had my daughter, after my first pregnancy, I actually did experience like quite a bit of the baby blues, and I thought I was just going crazy. Like, I would be changing her diaper and just like start hysterically crying. I cried a lot over the littlest, stupidest things. And it took a week or two for me to be like, what is wrong? And then I talked to my older sister, who was like, maybe just talk to your doctor, because she's like, you sound like maybe you need medicine. And at the time I was like, what do you mean? Yeah. But you know what? I did, and it helped, and it just
for her to say
helped me get normal again. A lot of times your hormones are all out of whack after having a baby, even during your pregnancy. So I stayed on anxiety medicine after my first was born. And then when I was pregnant again, they told me that I should not take those medicine, like not take that medicine during pregnancy. So I felt like I was just off. And they actually told me, you know what, if it's making you feel off, like, it's better to just be on your medicine like, it's not like it wasn't a serious risk, but they're like, you need to do what's best for you because you won't be able to be a good mom to this new baby if you're not yourself. So, yeah, putting that out there too, like, you know, take the time you need for yourself, but also pay attention to your body. And if somebody close to you is telling you in a caring and a kind way that, like, look, maybe this is a little bit more or whatever, it might just be somebody that has your best interest at heart, and you're not crazy if you need a little help after you have your baby.
And I know even at your child's, like, pediatrician checkups when they're first a newborn,
right,
they do ask you that for many appointments in a row of how you're feeling as the mom, which I did not know that they did that. And I appreciated it because you kind of need that constant check-in,
right,
and having a professional right there that can ask you those questions, because that is so common, and having those feelings is normal. It doesn't feel great, but so many people experience that. And
it doesn't make you a bad mom. It just makes you a normal person that has hormones.
I'm so glad that your sister said something to you about it. And that's having that community around you that knows you and is going to say the things that need to be said and love you through it is so important. So if you are pregnant with us, mamas, we are right there with you and are journeying through it all together, and just hope that we can be a support to you as you get ready for your new baby.
Yes, and follow us on Instagram. We share a lot about what's going on in our lives there. If you have any questions for us, we would love to answer them for you. If you're maybe a first-time mama, or if you would love to get connected with Lancaster Placenta Co., be sure to send us a message or contact Callie. I'm pretty sure, what is it on Instagram, at Lancaster Placenta Co.?
I believe so.
That's something we're really excited about, and that is something that we were happy to be able to share with you guys. And I hope that you guys just were maybe inspired by this. Maybe you laughed at some of the TMI. And I hope you guys have a great week.
Thank you for joining us. And mamas, we are right there with you, whether you're in the beginning, middle, or end of your pregnancy journey. And in case no one told you yet today, you are doing amazing.
Thank you so much for listening today. You are a part of a growing community of moms, business owners, and women who are here to encourage and inspire. You can connect with Rachel at Rachel Klein Creative on Instagram or rachelkleincreative.com. To keep up with Christine and her latest events, follow her business journey on Instagram at Bellenberry Co. And if you want to be first to know about upcoming guests and giveaways, sign up for the Thrive Podcast email list today. Simply visit rachelkleincreative.com/The Thrive Podcast or follow at The Thrive Podcast on Instagram. If you've enjoyed listening this week, or you've already added our show to your favorites playlist, we'd love for you to write us a review on iTunes. Your support and positive feedback allows us to keep encouraging moms and business owners each week.